Randy McKamey, head coach, Grace Christian of Knoxville, Tennessee, here joining me now. Coach, I appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the Friday night main event.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the show, and we're just excited about what's in store for us.
Well, Coach, the last time I had contact with you prior to this week was back on October the 27th, 2012. Your son had just been life flighted from South Pitt the night before with a real serious injury he had there against the Pirates. How's Will doing now?
Will's doing really good. In fact, we've got a round one bye this week, and it really was a blessing in disguise because he's up at the Naval Academy, playing football and dressing, and we got our fingers crossed he may even get to play a little bit this week. They're playing an 0-8 Hawaii team, so good. We'll see what happens.
Sounds good. Coach, I know that had to be a real traumatic event for you and your family, I'm sure, especially your wife. How hard was it for you guys to get focused back in on football following that night?
It was very, very tough. In fact, that night I just asked myself, I don't know, how can I get back into coaching? But that quickly went away. It's what I do, and that's what my mission field is, to reach kids in that arena. So, and as soon as Will came back around and got out of the woods, he was real quick to tell me, Dad, you got to get back and try to go win a state championship. So
he was probably on the sideline helping you coach that next game, wasn't he, Coach?
Absolutely, he was, and fortunately we'd had a round one bye then as well, so he basically got 2 weeks off, and that next week was able to make it out against Silverdale and watch the game. So that was huge.
And Coach, I know things were likely cut short last year, after losing such a vital part of your team when Will got injured. How much of a factor do you think that was in motivating these kids entering the season this year?
Well, I mean, we were on a mission last year, and when Will got hurt, it kind of dampened our spirits a little bit, and the kids really rallied and finished strong, and we made it to the quarterfinals, got beat by Boyd Buchanan, but they sensed that we didn't get to really finish what we started last year, and they've taken that and just really, really did a great job this year knowing what they want. And here we are 10-0 with a round one bye, and we're going to play the winner of 09 in Tellico. So the future looks really good right now. We just got to take it one game at a time.
Coach, Rams entering the postseason, they're averaging 45.7 points a game on offense, only giving up 9 points a game. Really, the only close game you guys have had this year was a 27-13 game against my buddy Coach Bradley over at CAK, and all the rest of the games have pretty much been decided by halftime. Is it a concern of yours heading into the playoffs that teams, like a Trousdale County, for instance, have had, at least 2 or 3 close games, and they may or have a better way, or they've had those situations in the fourth quarter where the game's on the line, and your kids really haven't had that situation to deal with? Right,
yeah, and we'll call that battle tested, and that's been a challenge for us this year, because quite a few of the games have been mercy ruled by halftime, and you struggle playing your starters. You start thinking, well, what if I get one hurt and he shouldn't be out there? What if the other team thinks we're trying to run it up on them? So we've been pulling our starters fairly early, trying to give them a series or two in the third quarter, just to, like you said, to stay in shape and have that battle tested. And so that's been a challenge. You're right. And last week's game against Rockwood, our kids did get to play, 3 quarters and a little bit. We pulled them out in the fourth, but that's going to be a challenge. You're right.
Coach, senior quarterback Devin Smiths, he's having a huge season this year. How vital has his play been to your success this year?
It's been huge. I mean, he has an arm that will stretch any defense in high school football, with just the ball speed itself or the distance he can throw it. So, I mean, I think that really, really creates some open areas, not just in the run game, but just some underneath stuff too, when he can stretch it that much. So he's been a big part of our success this year. And again, it sounds cliche, but it really is a team effort and a brotherhood like no other right now. This group's really, really close. Chemistry's good. They know what they want. And I think you put all that together, and it makes for a really good football team.
Yes, sir. Speaking of Devin, has he had any offers yet?
Right now, Devin has a couple offers from some smaller schools, waiting on that Division I offer, and he took a visit up to ETSU, and they're starting their program back, and Coach Torbush is going to do a great job, and I really feel like that offer will come soon, and when that one does, I'm sure the others will, because, again, he's a diamond in the rough, and granted, a lot of teams aren't going with the prolific drop-back pocket passer,
right.
but there's still quite a few teams out there doing it, and I think somebody will find that they get a steal out of this deal.
Coach Randy McKamey of the Grace Christian Rams joining us here. Coach, I know we're entering the season, running back, and I hope I pronounced these kids' names correctly, Karan Inman and tight end Andy Eddins had high expectations and were expected to play huge roles in your offense. Obviously, I don't get a lot of exposure over here in Middle Tennessee to your program. Have those kids, have they been pretty important to your success this year? And who are some of the key contributors besides Devin Smiths?
Yeah, Andy Eddins, tight end for us. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, runs a 4.6 40, plays both sides of the ball. Tight end and linebacker, we can put him out in the slot because of his speed and size. Has done a great job and just been able to stay healthy, which has been a blessing for us this year that everybody's remained healthy. Again, we feel like right now, knock on wood, going into the round 2 of the playoffs with this round 1 bye, that we're going to be healthier now than we were even week 0. So Andy's did a great job and is just a tremendous asset to our team. And you said it too, Kyron Inman transfer in and just really lived up to expectations. Did a great job running the football for us this year, and he's really good in space, catching the ball, and a heck of a linebacker on defense. So those two guys have been huge. We've got so many other kids right now that are weapons. And Kobe Kelly out there in the slot receiver as well, and our offensive line. I mean, just to name all the names, we'd be here all night. But again, it's a true a team and kids. We've got about 12 seniors, and pretty much all those seniors are contributing, and that makes a big difference when you're what we'd call an older type team.
That's one thing about what we do. Like I say, we're here in Middle Tennessee, actually in lower Middle Tennessee, and we don't get to hear a lot of things from you guys over in East Tennessee. So it's always good to get a chance to talk to the top coaches over there in the East and the West as well. And so I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about that. Coach, you guys are sitting at 10-0 now. You're the top seed in Quad 1 entering the playoffs. You'll get the winner of the Oneida Tellico Plains game. Obviously, you're familiar with that District 4 Tellico and what they bring to the table. Have you had a chance to see any film on Oneida yet?
We have. We've seen film on Oneida, and they were on a TV game earlier in the season, I think, where they played Greenback. So, very well-coached team. Tradition's very rich there. Probably not one of the best Oneida teams that's came out of Oneida, by any means, but yet you just have to look at the tradition and the quality of coaching there, and they're going to get the most out of them. I expect a really good football game. Most people won't when they see that headline of Oneida versus Tellico and just think that's a wash. Tellico's got a good football team. We played them this year. They're very, very big, very, very physical. And look to see a close ball game there. I think it's a coin toss.
Well, District 3, the district you guys are in, I think there was 6 out of 7 teams in that district that made the playoffs. They're definitely going to be battle tested heading into the playoffs. That's for sure. That's
right, and it's tough to beat a team that you've played already. And we're kind of torn. Do we want to play Tellico again, although we know we beat them and what they do, or do we want to see a team we haven't seen yet? And that's scary too. So. We'll just see how things play out Friday night. And like I said, I expect a really good football game.
You guys going to attend that game?
We are. We've actually called off practice tomorrow. Our kids are going to lift after school, and then we'll just head up toward Oneida and take in some good football.
Good deal. Coach, top to bottom, the eastern side of the bracket looks much tougher. Got Trousdale, Marion, Good Pasture, Oneida. Even a 4-6 Boyd Christian team could be dangerous. Of the teams on your side of the bracket, is Trousdale the obvious roadblock for the Rams in their quest for a state title?
Well, I thought so until I saw a little film on Marion County, and I was impressed with them. Big physical team, got some speed, big bruising fullback. Yes. So, I think it'll come down to a quarterfinal game with Marion and Trousdale, and I guess it depends on along the way how healthy does those teams stay, and what team shows up when they play each other. And where it's at. I don't know that I understand that bracket and looked at enough to know where they'll play, but if it's at Trousdale, that's a tough place to win.
Yes, sir, it is. And you was talking about Marion County. I know Coach McCurry, he's made the statement that fullback you referred to, I'm sorry the name's escaping me now, but he said that of those 5 or 6 Mr. Football winners he's had, this kid's the best. So, yeah, he's got to be a tough cookie if Coach McCurry is making that statement.
Yeah, he is. On film, you can see that he's got the speed and size to back it up, and just a physical player. Plays both ways, defensive end, fullback. So it's one of those games that you kind of dread going into. Do you pick your poison? You want to play Trousdale and misdirection and speed, or you want to play Marion County and just get some smash mouth wing tee football? I don't know.
Do you think the state championship will probably be decided on that side of the bracket prior to Cookeville?
I do. I really do. I really do.
I would agree with you, and I think that's kind of the way most of the state feels. But I will tell you, I think Mitchell is going to surprise some people. You know, they moved down from 4A to 2A this season, and I think they lost 3 of their first 4 games, you know, to teams like Whitehaven. So they're kind of under the radar. So that could possibly be a team over here on the western side of the bracket that may make some noise. I'm expecting.
I was blown away when I realized they were in 2A when that change happened, because I'd watched them play probably 3 or 4 years ago against Knoxville Catholic in a state championship game, and I mean, you talk about a good-looking football team, and when I heard they were in 2A, I mean, our coaching staff just cringed. So we know what they can bring to the table. So you know, half the battle's getting there, and then we would, you know, just put all the chips on the table at that point and just go ahead.
Yeah, whoever takes that 2A state championship this year is definitely going to earn it. There's a lot of really good teams in that division this year.
You're right.
Well, Coach McKamey, I don't want to hold you up, buddy. I really appreciate you coming on and joining us and giving us a little information over there on the eastern part of the state, and hopefully we'll see you guys up there in that game with Trousdale. That's definitely one I'll make sure I'm able to attend.
Well, thanks very much, and I look forward to seeing you. And if we're lucky enough to be there, let's get caught up, okay?
Sounds good, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. See you, Coach.
Bye-bye.